Hello, and welcome back to the Gers TV live Tuesday night show. We are live from our studio in Glasgow, and it's myself and Lewis tonight, and behind the scenes doing the producing, the directing, everything basically, as always, is Simon. So, hope everyone's had a good summer, rested up, and all us at the Gers TV, we're super excited to get going again for the new season. We just wish that the team matched that enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
How you doing, Lewis? All right? Good summer?
Gordon, yes, an eventful summer for myself. I've kept myself busy. I've really missed this. I'm really excited for tonight.
If everyone at home can hear all the moaning and panting, it's not Simon or Lewis or me. It's the sponsor, the
We're not that lucky.
The mascot, Lily. Great to. So, the season is upon us. A new coach, new signings, and let's get right into it. We'll talk about the Dundee United game. We'll discuss the players' performance, the manager's tactics and team selection, and then we'll look ahead to hashtag Thursday Night Rangers again in the Europa League. As ever, everyone watching at home, let us know your thoughts, your comments and questions, any discussion points for us, and we'll happily discuss them, and Simon on the controls will keep everyone engaged as well with their comments and ask us to read them out and discuss them. So, fantastic. Great to be back, Lewis. Let's talk about the game on Friday night, first game of the season away at Tannadice, and we'll start the team selection, Lewis. What was your thoughts on the team lineup, first of all?
To be honest, what I found strange was the fact that Naderi was starting up front over Shimney. I think we were all expecting a Shimney-Shankland partnership up front, but I quite like Naderi as a player. But I think you need to start the season strongly, and you need to start with your best team, I think. And he didn't do that on Friday night. I thought the boy Dragojevic would have at least got minutes in the game, never end up making an appearance. But what worried me was it's like kind of shows signs of last year. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't know his best team, but he's never started with the same team in pre-season with this. You would think he knows his best team by now.
Well, that's a criticism that we've had from quite a few Rangers managers, and it's quite in the last few years, and it's quite interesting that you've actually made that quote. Simon, if you're in the background, you can hear this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you usually say that about Clement quite a lot. That he didn't seem to know his best 11. Mm-hmm. And that's a very interesting point. And here's a point for you as well, and for everyone at home to discuss as well throughout the show. Derek McInnes is not new to Scottish football. He's not new to Rangers. He's managed against us quite a lot in the last couple of years. And if you pick out last season, Hearts played 4 games against Rangers. And Derek McInnes must know Rangers shortfalls, mm-hmm. and must know going into the group after defeating us a couple of times last season. And then obviously after the split as well, Hearts took quite a lot of points off his last season, unfortunately. So Derek McInnes must have come into the job knowing what our weaknesses were. But having said that, I actually thought that he had the wrong lineup on Friday. Yeah. And it's almost as if not only does he not know the best team, but I don't think he knows the best tactics yet.
I'm not sure if I'd agree with that. If he doesn't know his best tactics, because he seemed to change up a lot in games. Whether he changed it at half time. I mean, he changed it plenty of times against Rangers, especially in the game that we ended up beating them 4-2. He changed it unnecessarily at half time, so he shows that he can make the wrong changes and he's capable of doing that. So that's one of the only things that really worries me. I still think Derek McInnes is the right man for the job, and I still back him through the way.
Of course,
exactly. That's what I was about to say. It's only been a game. You've already got supporters saying he's not the right man, or we should have got this guy in, we should have got Gerrard or blah, blah, blah. It's all well and good saying that, but he's had 90 minutes of proper football, really.
Yeah, so let's go through the lineup, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So we had the new goalkeeper, Pandor, and goals, obviously, no surprise there. We had Sterling on the right, Robbins on the left. In the centre of the park, we had Godfrey and Fernandes. Mm-hmm. Do you think that was the right partnership in central defence?
I think with the boy McCann only just being in the door a couple of days, I think he didn't really have much of a choice. Willing to go with Godfrey and Fernandes. Obviously, it looks as if Godfrey's going to be out for a few weeks now, which is unfortunate. I think we're lucky that it's not more than 4 weeks.
That's a Custer signing for Rangers.
Of course it is. I mean, he's a guy who's played maybe, I think, 19 games in 3 years, I think, if I read that right. and he was overall
Yeah.
at Brøndby and Atalanta. So,
What do you think? What do you make of John Souttar not starting? Obviously, he was at World Cup, but he didn't actually play in the World Cup for Scotland. But what do you make of John Souttar not being in the squad? Was he on the bench on Friday night? My memory escapes me on that one.
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was.
I'm not surprised he wasn't involved in the game Friday night, to be honest, because Derek McInnes has already said that he's talking to a couple of clubs. I think we know that's Swansea and Leicester. I think that's the two clubs that he's speaking to. So it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up going down one of their places. But obviously Leicester, Russell Martin's team now, he could be linking up with former Rangers head coach.
Probably wouldn't be a bad signing for a team like Leicester.
It probably wouldn't be.
So moving on to midfield then, and he's selected in the centre of the park. There was the new signing Cammy Devlin. There's also Trello Asgard. And then, I don't know, I still don't know, watching the game back, where Diomande was actually playing, but Diomande was playing as well. And then you had Gassam playing. So you think he played the right kind of midfield and wingers on Friday night?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Really?
It's safe to say that Diomande didn't have his best game Friday night. Probably one of the worst performances I've seen from him in a Rangers shirt. Probably one of the worst players on Friday night as well. It was very, very poor. He looked missing for me. I think Diomande, same with Gassama, to be honest, most of the time he looked missing. He would use his pace, but I think that's about it. He wouldn't use any other attributes at all.
I don't think so. I think you're right about Diomande. Diomande has come in for some criticism, not only on Gers TV podcast and show, but from other fans as well. I don't like singling players out. However, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you do have to. Sometimes you have to call it as you see it. And obviously, we're not professional footballers. We don't know the ins and outs of what the manager's asking him to do, etc. But honestly, I don't think the manager. I don't think his position was clearly defined to him on Friday night. And I don't think really knew too much what was expected of him on Friday night. So I don't think that helped. That said, he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look confident at all. And I'm surprised he lasted so long.
It lasted the game. Lasted 90 minutes. Lasted the whole 90.
So again, you kind of have to ask yourself, what's the manager seeing through the 90 minutes that we're not with Diomande? Do you have any ideas on that?
I'm not. I don't actually. I'm not too sure. I've spoken about this a few times. There's a few options on the bench as well. Obviously, Ant-Man's now away. He's now away, so I think it's clear to say that we're in desperate need of wingers now. And now that sort of leads me on a wee bit onto the new boy that we're supposedly signing, the Japanese boy.
Well,
of course, we'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah.
So talking about Gassam, obviously you mentioned Gassam. Right, so I'm going to give you a positive for Gassam and a negative. Okay, you let me know what you think, Lewis. All right. So what I do like about Gassam is, even though if he has a bad game or he's not playing well, he still wants the ball. He still asks for the ball. He still makes himself available for a pass. He tries. He runs quite a lot. But then he cuts. He always wants to cut inside rather than going on the outside, which is a big frustration, because sometimes it can be too busy in the middle of the park sometimes. So that can really affect things. And then he comes in a couple of times on Friday night. He came in and blasted shots wide or way over the bar, not even close. And so what frustrates me about watching Gassam is that he does some good work, but it gets forgotten about because the end product is usually quite bad. On Friday night, it was very bad. So you forget, there was a run where he actually did really, really well. He beat a couple of boys, cut inside, and then he took a shot. The shot went about 50 yards over the bar. So
I think it left-handed.
So unfortunately, that's what people remember from that particular bit of play. However, he does well to give himself. He does manage to get space. He's got good pace. He makes himself available. But the final product with Gassam is just not there, it's not been there for a while.
Yeah, to be honest, I've never questioned the fact he's confident. He's wanting the ball, as you said. But as you say, he's trying to cut inside instead of maybe doing what a traditional winger maybe should be doing, like try to hug the byline a wee bit.
Yeah, and that's you hit the nail on the head a minute ago. That's exactly what we've been missing. I think there's something on the screen for our attention there. I don't have my glasses on. There's no way.
Yeah.
I'm lucky if I can see the screen. Can you see that, Lewis, at all?
Yeah. No, it's just to let you all know that you can now watch the Gers TV live shows on a Tuesday night on our new website. You'll go on. It's still the same link as what it was before, the gerstv.co.uk, but it's a new format. It's a new layout. It's
fantastic.
It's a lot better. Can also introduce a friend of the channel, Colin the Bally Bear, to the stage. Colin.
Colin, welcome to the studio, sir. We'll get you sitting down.
I think also welcome Lily.
Colin, I don't know if this is the first time I've actually met you, but I know the name.
A few people know the name.
We know the name.
Some people don't believe the accent.
This is the Bally Bear. Okay. Right, that's fine. So we'll mix and match. Oh, how you doing, Colin? All right?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's just been one of those nice days we have here. So, you guys confident for the season coming up?
Okay, we were just discussing the game on Friday night. You probably heard in the background there. We have talked a little bit about it ourselves. What's your thoughts on someone in the game on Friday night, Colin?
I think that there's great spots for improvement, mate. You know, hopefully we're going to get the lads playing together. I still don't understand all this whole idea about having systems, right? You and I can remember when we had Walter Smith or Graham Souness managing, and there wasn't, are you telling Gaza he's got to play in a system? Are you telling Davy Cooper he's got to play a system? You let the boys go out and show their individuality and go out and do something. And I think that that's one thing that we're still lacking. And hopefully this new winger we're signing, we can take somebody on and run it down to the touchline and pass it back rather than go from the top of the 18 and cross it in will help us a lot.
Yeah, excellent. Good thought. So we were just discussing the players individually there, and somebody that we haven't mentioned yet, we want to mention is Asgard. So Asgard has come in for criticism again from some supporters. I think we've all agreed, though, even when we're criticising him, we do all agree that there's a player in there. It's been frustrating to watch sometimes. But I thought on Friday night he had one of his better games for Rangers, and he scored a great goal. So what did you make of Asgard's performance, first of all, Lewis?
I mean,
and if he can keep doing that, then it's going to be a great signing, especially seeing how it looks like Raskin's leaving for sure.
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll open up for comments. I can see a lot of comments coming in, so we'll open up for comments in just a few seconds. Just want to finally ask you guys on your opinions of Lawrence Shankland and be made captain of Rangers late last week before the game that was announced, and then his performance on Friday night. So, Colin, starting with you, what do you make of what do you make? That's how I feel about it.
You're signing. You're signing.
I think that's about.
Can he play the wing?
I hope so. Yeah. So, Colin, I'll start that again. Obviously, we're live, so I can't go back and re-edit it. What did you make of Shankland getting made captain, and what do you think of his performance on Friday night?
I think it's maybe it's a wee treat for him to be named captain after the carry-on about if we were going to sign him, if we were not going to sign him. As for what he did, I think he played well enough. He tried to cover so much of the pitch himself, never really got fed the proper balls to do anything. Again, maybe it's a wee bit too early in the season for the rest of the players to realize what he's going to do, but we've got to get somebody who can score 20.
I'm going to pass this over to you because my eyesight is terrible, and we're also going to bring in Ryan via video link in a minute as well for his comments as well. So if there's anything on the screen at the moment, we'll have a wee chat about it if we can.
Well, I seen a wee comment there from Chick saying that wasn't for Shankland being captain. Don't think he'll be an automatic starter. I think him being made captain will now make him an automatic starter for Rangers week in, week out, because I think it's clear to see that Derek McInnes likes playing the two man up front. And I think for the majority of the season, although we didn't see it on Friday night as much, I think for the majority of the season it will be Shankland, Chermiti. Obviously, if Chermiti ends up staying, but I think it will be. I think it will stay. But I think that's what it will be for most of the season.
Okay.
Any more comments are coming up?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, right. No, I've just realised there we've got Ryan coming on now, so I'd like to just introduce Ryan onto the show, our first Tuesday night live show, and we've got Ryan back. Ryan, how are we?
Okay, pal, can you hear me?
I can hear you all good, mate. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, mate. Yeah. Can't see myself on screen here, mate, so I don't know if I was there. Is it audio only?
I think it's audio only, aye.
You're far too handsome to get on the screen with your face, Ryan. You'll put us all to shame.
We don't want the competition.
What was your thoughts on the game then on Friday, Ryan?
As expected, Gordy. I went to the West Ham friendly. Was the one I'm at, and to be honest, the writing was on the wall that we just seem to be very lacklustre. We don't look like the finished article by any matter of means. We look, short of players in a couple of different departments. McInnes is obviously short of options in the bench, and for me, a result like that we delivered on Friday night, very much the writing was on the wall for it. I don't have any kind of blame or anything like to lay at Derek's feet on it. I think he's doing the best to work with what he's got just now. I'm looking towards the guys. I'm looking towards Dan Purden. I'm looking towards Robbie Thelwell and asking them what are they doing on a daily basis to make sure that McInnes has got the tools ready. We've obviously heard today that Hieto Dow is now went to Hull City. That's one for me it's just went through our fingers. It's the guy came out and publicly said he wanted to sign for Rangers. What's happened in the last kind of couple of weeks has made that transfer fall apart. The board are telling us there's money there to spend. The James Taylor, the guy that was the finance guy before he left, told us there was headroom as far as FPP was concerned. Why is this guy not standing at Ibrox with a flag, a scarf above his head, signed as our new centre midfielder? There's something just still not quite right for me. And I just keep looking at these recruitment guys, because these are the guys that are still in situation from last year. We want to clear the deck, so we're trying to start a new chapter, but we still get these same old these guys haunting the building. So why are they still in situ?
Aye, well, a wee comment here for Shank, obviously going back to what I was talking, what we were talking about with Nadiri and Shankland being the front two. Nadiri getting some slack. He isn't a one up front by himself, and I don't think Shanks was up there with him much. Certainly weren't playing as a duo. Haley McCoy's the Toshak Keegan sort of duo. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't think that. I think Chick's absolutely right, and Derry and Shankland didn't look like a natural combination, to be perfectly honest. Again, a bit like Diomande, I wasn't sure what in Derry's position was on Friday night. Wasn't really sure what he was getting asked to play. However, I do have to I'm not absolving the strikers by any stretch of the imagination, but I think for long stretches of the game on Friday night, the service was so bad to the guys up front that they were working on scraps for most of the game. I think Shankland created a couple of chances for himself in the first half. That one from the corner, the one for the ball in the box, and the flick, the kind of back heel flick, it brought out a great save. He was, for long periods of the time, they were left to kind of apply their trade themselves, which is a shame because, you need these guys to get good service, and we were missing that. Colin?
I think that our strikers weren't getting any service. At times, it looked like the midfielders didn't know what to do with the ball except to pass it amongst each other. And we'd get close to the 18 box. And then, there's no opening spots for people. Maybe I'm just a wee bit too old-fashioned, but run it down the line and cross it back in. Or, speed up the passing, because the longer you hold on to the ball, the more the defense is going to get back there and block you.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to bring you back in if that's okay, mate. And I'm going to ask for people to send in comments as well on this question. You said a wee minute ago, Ryan, that Derek McInnes is working with what he's got. We're short in a few departments. You made the point about the midfielder for Tromsø, I believe, not getting brought in, which I agree with you. It's that's a perfect profile player we want in, but we've let him go. But that aside, Ryan, what's your thoughts on where our immediate priorities lie? Where would you like to see the side strengthened almost immediately?
It's the wide areas, Gordy. I think that's well publicised. The wide areas are really struggling. Kisama is the shadow of what a Rangers player should look like. He's just nowhere near the appetite that we need to get somebody. Finlay Curtis is still a work in progress. We've let Oliver Antman leave the building. Nadeem Bajrami's left the building. Scott Olsen's finished his loan. We have let the wide areas go, and it's we spoke at length last season about, we knew fine well that most of our defence was leaving. Jaden McComa, Cornelius, Giga was on a loan. Tavernier was reaching the end of his contract. We knew what was ahead of us this time last season as far as rebuilding a defence is concerned. Why are we still scrambling about looking for another right back? Ross McCrory, aye, fine. He'll come in. I don't think he'll let you down. But would you want to go in and and try and win a season with Ross McCrory as your right back, it's not going to be possible. You know, the name James Tavernier started getting floated about last weekend, and it's not a name that I want to hear when we're talking. You know, Tavernier was a great servant for the club and stuff like that, but the more we keep talking about James Tavernier, we realise that we've not recruited well. Because we shouldn't be talking about him anymore. We should be talking about our fantastic new right back who's come in and he's playing so well. It's madness what's going on. But your immediate resolve, your priority has to be the right backs. That's not the right backs, sorry, the wingers. That has to be your immediate one. I still think we've overloaded the midfielders with guys who I don't think are creative. There's a comment there from Jay for creative midfielders. I would agree with that, and I think that would have been a perfect example of somebody who could be, you know, we're looking for guys that will crash the box. We're looking for an Alberts. We're looking for a Frank Lampard style player who's willing to go box to box. Maybe more recently Scott Arfield, who's willing to get the runs in behind and actually go beyond the forwards and look to get the box to score goals for us. From what I've seen of our current midfield crop, nobody's there is willing to do it. You're not going to get that out of the guys that are in situ just now. It's really, really frustrating. I don't know if you can hear that from my voice. I'm annoyed more than anything else because this is completely preventable. It's completely preventable. We could be far ahead and ready to go. We've got a massive European tie coming up on Thursday that I'm sitting there thinking, I'm speaking to my pals today thinking if we come back with a 1-goal loss, for me that's almost a good result on Thursday night to try and get the tie back to Ibrox. We've got a massive game on Sunday against the Burnley. If we don't win that game, you know, Walter Smith said you're only a couple of games away from a crisis at Ibrox, and if we don't get a result on Thursday, we don't get a result on Sunday, all of a sudden we are in that crisis again.
Yeah, and it's, as you said, Ryan, it's entirely avoidable. I did make the point just before you came on here, not only, as you rightly pointed out, I didn't actually add this to it, but it's a good point to make. We knew exactly who was going to leave the club. We knew exactly, you know, why they were leaving, when they were leaving. Derek McInnes also played against Rangers 4 times last season, so he would have known on top of that, or I'd hope he would have known where our weaknesses were. And here we are, the season started, and we're kind of still saying the same things as we were this time last season, when the season started again. So it is frustrating. Colin, I'll ask you what position you would like to see strengthened, and then you, Lewis. Okay, so Colin, where would you like to see us bring in players?
Again, I think the winger and Asgard, if he's going to be a offensive midfielder, that's great, because I was just going to ask people, who do you think was the last creative midfielder we had? And I think it was Hadji. If you ask me myself, he was given a little bit more freedom to pass the ball and make some moves, but the rest of the team couldn't follow up with what he was trying to do. And I think, you know, he was the last adventurous player that we had, and I think we need some wingers who can go down the line and beat some players and make the defense for the opposition go wide.
Yep. Lewis?
Same as you. Wide areas, and I've not really seen many names get thrown about apart from James Penrice earlier on in the summer, but I'd like to see another left back in to help to sort of compete with two Romans there. Obviously, we've got the young boy Scally there, but I think Romans is a quality left back. I mean, we've seen that second half of last season, but he looked lost on Friday night, and we've seen that later on in the game, and Dundee United almost went 2-1 up with a poor effort from the boy Randall. I think it was. There was no left back to be seen. Yeah, so I certainly think we need options.
Acres, you're absolutely right.
We really need options there on the left hand side as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've brought in 5 or 6 players, majority are midfielders, and as Ryan said a minute ago, was an overloaded midfield, and I would say that a lot of guys we brought in are kind of similar players as well.
Aye, that's it. You know, they're all similar type of players. Look, I'm going to be showing my age, but have we stopped producing big stoppers? You know, somebody like Richard Goff, Terry Hurlock, somebody who's going to take control of the midfield, and or Stuart McCall. Their job is get the ball and pass it on to somebody else, right?
A creative player.
To a creative player. And now we're just trying to pass the ball around everybody, and it's no entertaining. Nobody wants to go and spend the money to own a ticket to see a team pass the ball 200-300 times and have 3 shots on target.
Yeah, that was one of the frustrating things on Friday night for me was, you know, the lack of everything really, but we got ourselves back into the game. This is a point I want to ask you guys as well, just in a wee minute. Last season, one of my criticisms of Rangers was that mentally we react quite poor to situations. However, we did last season, get ourselves back into this game sometimes, but then we seem to stop as if we think to ourselves, right, we've got the equaliser, that's job done. Now that's incredibly frustrating for me, because it was evident on Friday night. We stopped playing for 20 minutes after that, and then it was only kind of the last 5 or 10 minutes where we seemed to get a bit of urgency again, thinking, oh, there's only 5-10 minutes to go. Let's try and win. So, what is happening there? Can anyone explain that to me? Ryan, you get any thoughts on that?
As far as urgency is concerned, Gordy,
as far as motivation, so I don't know if you noticed it, but we kind of seemed to stop play. As soon as we got the equaliser, it seemed to me as if the players maybe thought to themselves, so job done, we're back, we'll get a point, back in the game. Then they seem to kind of stop playing for 15-20 minutes.
God, I don't have an explanation for you behind that. It's a really difficult thing to ask why. I mean, you got to remember this is only their second competitive, their first competitive game. You know, their second game in just a few days. But Dundee United have been in for nearly a month now, so they've actually had competitive games in the League Cup before that. Is it fitness levels and stuff? And then would you look at the bench and say, is there options? You spoke about Romans there, and you know, I'm suspicious that Romans is actually carrying a knock, because he doesn't look as if the same player as far as going up and down the wing and being so effective in the last third. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's actually having to play through some sort of pain barrier just now to keep us going, because we don't have a reserve left back. We would normally, in circumstances, ask John Sterling to be the Swiss Army knife for the team and go across there and play left back. But he's got other duties within the team now that he's got to cover other positions there. I almost kind of look at the Friday night result. Once we were 1-0 down, I actually kind of think that one each was actually a good result, and very quite easily, if that boy had finished that chance he had in the last couple of minutes, we could have been walking maybe nothing. So I'm quite happy to lick my wounds from it and just say, right, one each, fine. We didn't lose the game. It's a long, hard season ahead. Let's just get on with it. And it's one we may actually look back on and think, well, fine, it's okay. But I don't know why we're not going and press them and try to win the game, but is there a nervousness that they think if they go and press too high, they might actually just end up losing another goal? Because it actually really happened.
That's a perfect question. That's a perfect question I should have asked a minute ago to everyone. Is there a nervousness within the team?
I think there will be. I think it's only natural that they're going to be a bit nervous. You're going into the last minutes. Dundee United look strong. You're going into the last 5-10 minutes of the game. They look strong. They look as if they're going to get a winner. They almost did, as you were saying, Ryan. I think it's obviously natural to be nervous, but I think Derek McInnes, well, what I would at least think anyways, Derek McInnes sort of drill a bit of composure into these players, because I'm sure, well, his Hearts team certainly grinded out a fair few results last year.
Okay. Well, I hope Derek remembers when he was playing, because I'm not too sure if it's nervousness or, as we were saying before, about the captains on it. And as you said and Ryan said, there didn't seem to be an urgency there. You know, we equalized, and then, like you said, we just put the foot off the gas. We didn't say, okay, let's build what we're doing now. We have to find a way to win. We have to find a way to get past these guys. And it was just like you said, you know, all right, we've done enough now to not lose, but that's not Rangers. We're supposed to find...
That's the point I'm trying to make.
We're supposed to find a way to get through. And maybe, you know, going back to who's the captain, well, every player on that should be going, I'll do it. Give me the ball in the last 10 minutes. Give me the ball so we can do something. What we've tried to do in the first half didn't work. What happens now? You know, I'm not saying, and Derek, if he could open it up a wee bit, just say, go out there. You got 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Do whatever you have to do to get that other goal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we had a wee comment there just saying no improvement from last season. I think, well, we had a very short pre-season. We didn't really have long to prepare. And I'm not making any excuses for the team or for Derek McInnes or whatever. I'm not making any excuses. But this was never going to be easy. But we're never going to steamroll this, especially with a new manager, a new captain, a lot of new faces. But at the same time, you could also argue Motherwell's performance against Hibs, obviously they looked a bit cagey at times, but they had 8 debutants in that team. They also had a new manager. And
Dundee United had 14 new signings.
Yep.
And their team.
I don't
obviously not all played 11 players, but Dundee United.
I don't think that's quite possible.
No, exactly. But what I'm saying, what point I'm making is that over the course of the summer, it may not be 14. Dundee United have signed 10 and 11 players. That's fact. Right? And as Ryan rightly pointed out, they've had some competitive games in the League Cup, right? Which is a fair point, okay. But even still, they seemed more of a team. They seemed more balanced, and a lot of it's to do with the fact they're in the League Cup, so that's fair enough. But for me, listen, it's the first game of the season. We might look back on this, as Ryan has said a couple of times in the chat as well. We might look back on this as a point gained in a couple of months' time, because Dundee United was not an easy place to go last season. Boisterous crowd. Jim Goodwin's always up for a scrap with the old firm, and Rangers and Celtic struggled there last season. So we may well look back on this in a couple of months' time and say it was a good point gained, but at this moment in time, I think it's just a bit frustrating when we look back at the performance.
But the thing is, for me, Dundee United shouldn't be a hard place to go. Your hard places to go are your Hibs, your Aberdeens, your Celtic Parks. That's your hard places to go. Not your places like Dundee United, Dundee. Kelly to an extent in the last few years have sort of been a bit of a bogey team for us, even St Mirren as well. You could put in that bracket.
More the pitch in Kilmarnock than.
I think that's now changed back to grass.
Well, they've now changed their pitch back to grass, so I think that's only good for Scottish football and good for Rangers especially. So, but for me, I think we're looking into this. Obviously, Dundee United's a hard place to go, and yes, it is, because Dundee United seem to always force a rivalry with Rangers, and that builds up the atmosphere a bit. So it is a bit. There's a slight hostility to it, but it's not a hard place to go. Like, realistically, it's not.
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
We've made it. We've unfortunately we made it a hard place to go. We will start to, I think, change to look forward to Thursday night, a wee minute or two. But is there any more comments about Friday night or the performances or the signings, etc.?
Gordie, can I come in on something as well?
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Forgetting you're there, so we can't see you.
No, listen, it's just a kind of the way that I try and analyse a season. When I try and be a wee bit kind of sober with it if I can. And when a bad result does come, particularly at home, I try and kind of look at it in sensible lights with numbers. So my target for a season to basically almost guarantee win the league is 100 points. That should be our target. There's 114 points to play for every single season. And if you were to get 100 of the 114, you're pretty much guaranteed to win it. 95 should win it for you, but 100 should be your target to make sure that you're safe. So we should be looking to win all 19 home games. We shouldn't be looking to lose at home at all. Ibrox should be our fortress, and we look to do our best business. That then gives you 14 points as a budget almost that you can drop away from home. So of that 19, we've basically got 14 points to lose within 19 games, away games. So losing 2 of those already. If we win half our home games, half of our away games, draw a few of them and lose a few of them, we'll still win the league. But we need to make sure that Ibrox is the place that we do our best work and make sure that nobody comes to Ibrox looking for points and takes points away from us.
Yeah, great point. And that's over the course of the season, we may well look back and say it's a point gained, and hopefully we do. Just a reminder, Ryan, you've been brilliant as always. And over the course of this new season and the new show, the Gers TV, we are inviting viewers to call in. Ryan's called in this evening and made some fantastic points and given some great analysis as ever, as always. If anyone out there wants to call in or even be a regular caller, regular contributor, you can call in. You can actually schedule a call, and you can call in before the show and book your slot, or you can call in during the show. So just a reminder for the new season, part of the Gers TV, we're also looking to improve things and get the fans and the viewers more involved. You can now join us via phone call every Tuesday night, every live show. So please do that.
Yep. Anyways, guys, on to Thursday night.
Let's
hopefully a bit of positivity.
As ever with football, or as ever with Rangers. Certainly not. Maybe not last year, but certainly in recent years. Very recent modern times, irrespective of our league form, domestic form. There's always been a bit of an escape on a Thursday night. Under the lights of Ibrox Europa League, I think we made the moniker #Rangers Thursdays a couple of seasons ago. And it's a brand new season. Yeah, it's a brand new team. But we've got a path to Europa League group stages. I think the draw has been fairly kind to us. We've got an absolute stonker of a potential Knicks game as well, which
I wonder what you're referring to.
I tricked to Armenia. I've always fancied. No,
I don't. I don't even
tear gas when
I was there.
You get tear gas quite a lot, though. I felt that could be a reflection just in you.
Yes, Carol. Yep, yes.
So I'm not even sure. Who Lam are playing and where they're from. I just said Armenia, but Lewis, you're usually quite good. You're usually the knowledge
What's that?
for that. Who are Lam playing in the next round?
Iberia, Tbilisi, they're from Georgia.
Georgia, damn it. Okay, I thought I was trip to Georgia.
Playing
They're actually playing tonight, so hopefully they can get a win, set up a game. But yeah, sorry, digressing a little bit. So, Colin, start with you for Thursday night. Looking forward to the European season starting again.
Oh, the European season is brilliant. And just as you were implying, sometimes it's better than the domestic league for whatever reason. And I'll just give a wee shout out to all the clubs, the Rangers clubs in Asia, because that game's going to be starting for the Bally Bears at 3:00 in the morning. And I'm still getting text messages. Are you showing the game? And I have to tell the lads in Bally, try not to drink through because you're going to be too dehydrated. Take a few hydration breaks as they did in the World Cup. Right. And, then we can watch the game at 3:00 in the morning. I'll finish at 5 and then go to the beaches and all of that. But I'm looking forward to it.
Do that in Paisley.
Drive to Europe.
Lewis, I'll ask for your thoughts, and then if Ryan's still here, I'll bring in Ryan after Lewis. Lewis, looking forward to Thursday night?
Aye, I'm looking forward to it. Jagiellonia, I believe they're pronounced. A bit of a more unheard of team in the football world, but they're a team that they'll fancy themselves for Thursday night because I think they'll know that a lot of Rangers fans and maybe even the Rangers team themselves will be underestimating them a little bit. I think for the last couple of years they've been a regular in the sort of Conference League, so they will be right up for this, trying to get themselves into the Europa League because, of course, I mean, for both teams, I think it's a favourable draw in the next round, whether it's Larne or Iberia, Tbilisi. Obviously, if we get knocked out this time, we play Jablonec or RFS. I don't know what their full name is. I know it's just abbreviated to RFS, I believe, of Iceland. So
okay.
that'll be an interesting one.
Well, Ryan, give us your thoughts on Thursday night, please.
It's got banana skin written all over it, Gordon, doesn't it? It's got banana. It's all the war wounds of progress, Niederkorn and Kaunas, all this kind of stuff that to kind of go on that. So we need to just make sure we get ourselves over the tide. Thursday, I'm looking for a right professional performance from Rangers. I'm looking for stuffy and calm is what I'm after, and just get ourselves through it, injury free and suspension free. As I said, a 1-goal loss and get the game back to Ibrox in a couple of weeks' time isn't the worst scenario for us. This club, Jablonec, forgive me, I can't pronounce their name, but they seem to have been at the business end of the Conference League the last couple of years, so they've got European experience within their team, so they'll not be any bugs. They'll be looking to try and put a marker down on us as well, so it'll be fine. The tie, if Larne managed to beat Tbilisi, would be great. I don't think Larne Stadium would be able to handle it by any matter of means. You probably find it might get moved on to Windsor Park or something like that. So that's certainly a mouth-watering tie for the communities over there, and obviously the communities here as well. So it'd be great to see that. But we've just, unfortunately, at this moment in time, we don't have the right, and we don't have the attitude to be looking so far in the future. We're not in a good enough place as a team to be looking too far in the future. We've just got to take one result at a time and just try and get better every single week.
I think it'd be more than likely if Rangers end up playing Larne in the next round of the Europa League. I think it'd be more than likely it gets moved to Windsor Park because, correct me if I'm wrong, when Larne were in the league phase, sorry, I was about to say group stage, the league phase of the Conference League, all their home European games were played at Windsor Park, I believe, because their ground wasn't big enough for UEFA standards. They played right. Okay, they played. I think so too. I think that was just because the teams that they were playing, the crowds that were expected for it. I think that's the only reason it got moved to Windsor. But they recently played the Red Star Belgrade, a team that also Rangers have played a few years ago. Came out with victors in the Europa League knockouts against them, but I believe they faced a bit of a heavy defeat to them in the Champions League qualifiers. So yeah, but I believe that they're playing this Iberia Tbilisi. Did you say it's tonight, Si? It's tonight. Honestly, I don't really know what to expect from that game. I'd imagine that'd be.
will be super motivated to get the win.
Especially with the chance of playing Rangers. I think that'd be quite popular between both Glasgow and Northern Ireland based Rangers supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. Just my kind of thoughts on Thursday night quickly. Just going to mirror what everyone said. Banana skin, great phrase to use. There's a potential there. I mean, I think some of the. Maybe don't class myself in this group, but maybe some of the older Rangers fans have a little bit of snobbery about the teams in Europe. As you said, Lewis, maybe not familiar enough with these teams, but a lot of the teams from old Eastern Bloc countries, Eastern European countries, they're very good technically. They've got some good players, and their national teams are great as well. They won't be easy, and given our performance on Friday night, I think it's going to be a tricky tie. I would like to say it shouldn't be a tricky tie. However, I've got a funny feeling that it could be a tricky tie, unfortunately. And as Ryan said, I think Lewis said as well. Not only have they've been regular in the Conference League in the last couple of years, they've actually got to kind of last 16, last 8 or whatnot as well. So they certainly won't be easy, and we have to be as professional and as tidy as possible. I will ask you for your show predictions for Thursday night, if that's okay. Colin, it is quite not. I would not use the word strange, but you've got the moniker Bally Bear, but every time you speak, I kind of pick up like Canadian accents. So I'm trying to compute that in my brain. So that's why I've not actually said Bally Bear yet, because for me you sound. I don't want to cause any offence, but no offence to Canadian. Is this a fake accent you've been putting on all night? Yes, I'm trying to compute that in my head. But give us your prediction for Thursday night score.
I'm going for 2-0 for Rangers. Right. I think that this is one of the problems. We've got to get the confidence back. We've got to get, as Lewis was saying and Ryan, we got to get the fear factor in for the teams coming to Ibrox. And, Thursday night's a great night to start.
Okay. Ryan, give us your prediction, please, mate, if you can.
0-0 to Rangers.
I like that.
How many shots, Ryan?
Actually, that's what it's coming down to. Seeing it, let's not go there. Lewis, your prediction?
As Ryan was saying there, I can see another draw. To be honest, as you say, Ryan, 0-0 to Rangers. 0-0 wouldn't be a bad result for Rangers. I think take it back to Ibrox. You would even say a 1-0 defeat wouldn't be the worst of results. I think one each. I think another one each.
Okay, I'll obviously we all want Rangers to win. I think Rangers will win 1. I think it'll be a tight game. I think it will be. I don't think it'll be very pretty, to be honest, on Thursday night. I just hope to hell that Derek McInnes gets his first win, because the longer it goes, there'll be so much pressure. If we get a bad result on Thursday night, there'll be so much pressure going into the game at Ibrox on Sunday. And let's face it, over the last couple of seasons, the team have not performed well when it comes to pressure games. So it'll be a big lift for us all. And I think we could. I don't think it'll be pretty. I think it might be quite ugly. But I can see it being a 1-0 or a 2-1, hopefully, to Rangers. Simon, do you get any predictions for Thursday night score-wise?
1-0 to Rangers.
1-0 to Rangers, there we go. Fantastic. Have we got any comments about what we've discussed tonight, or looking ahead to Thursday? Lewis, I'm going to hand this over to you. My eyesight's terrible.
That's all right. No, a wee comment for sure. Nothing really to do with Thursday night, but just in general to do with Rangers. Just to let you know, Rangers in the last 3 windows have spent £63 million. I'm not. I just said 63 million. I'm not sure if that's pounds or euros. I'm assuming pounds. What do you think about that? And do you think Finlay Curtis on Thursday and more games? Basically asking, do we think Finlay Curtis will make an appearance on Thursday? I hope so. To be honest, as you were saying, Ryan, he's a bit of a work in progress. But for me, once you go out on loan to a fellow Premiership club, I think when you come back to your parent club, I think that's you. That should be you ready to make your mark. Also, we've got a couple of young players out on loan to fellow Premiership clubs. We've got Paul and Zio, recently went out to St Mirren, and also we've got Bailey Rice at Kilmarnock. I think both seemed to impress over the weekend for the loan clubs. Finlay Curtis, I think he'll make an appearance on Thursday night. I certainly think so. I think he'll start Thursday night, to be honest with you.
I think Derek McInnes will look at that game on Friday, and I totally agree with you, Lewis. I think he will start on Thursday night. Friday nights, Thursday nights. Give me a weekend game.
Friday night's the Rangers night.
What am I getting at? Yeah, I do think Finlay Curtis is still 18. I think it's still a lot of pressure to put on a young guy, because look, we're going to be after that game on Friday night. We're now basically pinning our hopes, not all our hopes, We're not asking a guy that's 18 years old, not a lot of first team football for Rangers, to go in and change the way we're playing and be that winger we're craving, which is a lot of pressure for a young guy. And
Derek Johnson.
yeah,
If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Exactly.
no, yeah.
And-
Listen, it's hard to disagree with that.
Even an example
But-
outside the Rangers, you've got the boy Lamine Yamal that's just went and won the World Cup with Spain as well.
Ah,
Obviously, I'm not exactly comparing Finlay Curtis to him, but is your, is your,
it sounded like it, but that's not-
To be fair to me, it sounded like you're comparing Derek Johnson to Finlay Curtis, and it sounds like you're comparing Lamar to Finlay Curtis, and that sounds stupid. So,
but there's no pressure.
there's no pressure.
no, but as you're saying though, if he's good enough, he's old enough. And
Yeah, that's very.
I think he
true.
showed. I think he showed when he was at Kilmarnock last year that he was good enough. Obviously, Kilmarnock fans were very eager for him to stay at the club. But don't get me wrong, it's a massive step up from Kilmarnock to Rangers. But he impressed in his moments that he played for Rangers as well, even before he went to Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I think he came on under. Well, obviously, we don't want to say the guy's name, the manager, but he did come on and he looked the only kind of good player. And it was so strange to see because we spent a fortune.
Fair enough, Gassama as well.
Just going on to what that call the text in there.
Stuart Campbell.
Stuart Campbell, sorry, Stuart. £63 million. It's right. It's scary numbers. And £63 million later, and we're still asking the same questions. Where's the right back? Where's the wingers?
Where's the
You
manager going to last 2 transfer windows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Right?
I know. And if we, again, as Ryan said 10, 15 minutes ago, if we don't get the result on Thursday night, then it's just pressure. It's just pressure on everyone. And we don't perform well under pressure, unfortunately.
Can I ask a question there? Obviously, Colin, you mentioned there a manager that lasts more than two transfer windows. Was the last Rangers manager to last from one summer to the next summer? Was the last manager that did that Steven Gerrard?
I think it was. Right? Because
that's what I'm thinking about because Clement came in mid-season.
because then Gio never got 2 windows. Nobody else has gotten it. I did the tour of Ibrox about 3 weeks ago. You go into the manager's room, and it's just 8 managers for the first 100 years or 110 years, and then it's like miniature pictures of the managers since then because they just come and gone so quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and you're absolutely right, and I think that also doesn't build confidence in the squad too.
And it also creates instability as well within the team.
I'll go one further, Lewis. I know that you love my stats and my data.
God, Jesus.
I know you love
That's
it.
the one thing I've not missed.
I know you love data. I know you love stats. I can tell you right now, players are 33% more likely to get injured after a change of manager.
Where have you pulled that one for?
I am not telling you my sources. It was a report. I was a report done from the Czechoslovakian third division.
Aye, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Which I watch religiously every weekend because Rangers don't play the weekends anymore. So they only play Thursdays, Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays. So I've got plenty of time on a Saturday to watch the
Any more comments? Any more
Have you
comments?
found any players we should sign?
Any more comments coming inside? One more here for Carol as well. Need to win. Oh, hold on. Need to win trophies this season. Fed up watching. Right. Okay. Yep. I can't say the full version of that. That DFB's winning and Rangers winning FO. Well.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Right? This might be an interesting point to not end the show on, but discuss just towards the end of the show. This season, guys, I will start with you, Lewis, because you were going to ask it. On the back of Carol's question about winning a trophy, what for you would count as success this season?
Win the league. Well, as simple as that. Win the league and possibly win either the League Cup or the Scottish Cup.
Do you think that aligns with what counts as success for the board?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we've got more Rangers men in there. Obviously, we've got Jim Gillespie as the CEO, obviously a well-known Rangers supporter. We've got Andrew Kavanagh, who's obviously mingling with the Rangers supporters as well. So, and it's a point that I stressed about before. We've got Rangers men in there, men who, well, I say men, we get people who know the standards of Rangers, people who know what it takes to be successful at Rangers. And Derek McInnes obviously was at Rangers in probably one of our most successful times as a club.
Cool. Ryan, same question to you. What counts as success for you this season?
Europa League qualification, Gordy. Win the league, undefeated at Ibrox for the season, and one of the 2 domestic trophies.
Okay.
Can't disagree with that.
Again, same question. You think that aligns? Do you think that the board has the same expectations as we might have then this season?
Yes. Yeah, I think the board expects to to win the league. I think the board expected to win the league last season, to be honest with you, and obviously look what happened with that. I think the board need to do everything in their power to make sure that we win this league this season, because the Rangers fans, our patience is wearing very, very thin. They can't say that we've not stood by the club and stood by the board. We continue to put our hands in our pocket week on week, buying merchandise for the team at home and abroad. So at some point, the finger is going to stop getting pointed at the manager and the football team. The finger is going to start getting pointed at the director's box. The board need to be very aware of that.
True. Colin, what counts as a success for you this season? Does it match with the board?
I think it matches with the board, and I agree with Ryan Lewis there that at least a double, the league and hopefully the Scottish Cup or the League Cup will be fine. And I'll just also throw in winning the Hogmanay Old Firm match, because for the last 3 seasons, the House of Cards were about to collapse there. And then they came in and they beat us. And you're wondering how they didn't have a shot on for one of the matches, and they won on the penalties, a 2-2 match. If we had held that, the House of Cards would have fallen and we would have won the league, walked it, I think. And the previous season's the same.
Can I ask a question? And I'll probably be rolling it back a wee bit here. When was the last time Rangers actually won at least a domestic double? Because I can't think of it in my recent years of being a Rangers supporter.
And that's a disappointing thing.
For
a lot of the...
Under Walter Smith, really? That long?
It's got to be Walter Smith, yeah.
Because you think about
right enough.
People who are under probably, 15 years, they've not seen Rangers win. They've not seen Rangers dominate. And it's getting harder for them to get a ticket. And they're the next generation of supporters. And we've got to get them to think it's more than just a telly show, a match. And we've got to get them back to winning trophies.
Yeah. To be fair, the board have said the right things, and they seem to be backing the manager. There is a bit of frustration right now with the fact that we seem to be chasing players. Ryan alluded to it a short time ago about the midfielder Dow for Tromso. He's went to Hull now as well. He was appeared with a fantastic signing.
Can I quickly ask, is that move confirmed? Is it confirmed that he's went to Hull? I seen that there was a deal was being finalised. Is that actually confirmed now?
I think it's just the medical, Lewis, and the formality of signing the contract. It's 99% done.
It's extremely disappointing one, because considering that he came out in public and said that Rangers was his preferred option, and we've still not went through with it. I think that's really disappointing me. And I'm actually going to talk about, it was a wee snippet of a Gerrard interview that I listened to with the Open Goal podcast. What's that? No, but I'm talking about Gerrard. It doesn't matter. Anyways, with Gerrard obviously talking about how his issues with coming back to Rangers was the recruitment. That was one of the main reasons they never actually end up coming back.
Yeah, I think the recruitment overall, I mean, just go back to the comment from Stuart Campbell 10 minutes ago. The very fact that we spent 63 million as such, it should be an eye-opener for everyone involved at Rangers. The fact that we spent 63 million and, I would say we haven't progressed at all in 3 years.
Progressed.
We're still scratching our heads for different positions. And I do think there will be signings before the end of the season. I think Derek McInnes actually said something interesting. He said that the squad would look a whole lot, he used the phrase, a lot different at the end of the transfer window. So it's just frustrating that we're waiting until August, because these players need a few weeks to get up to speed and train with the lads as well. So the sooner we can get new players in, the better, and it will lift the mood. But what will lift the mood more is a win on Thursday night. I'm sure you'll all agree.
All right. And also, what you're also saying, and Ryan's saying about some of our recruitment and who the recruiters are, is one of the frustrating things is, as you said, we've got players who want to come to Rangers and we don't seem to approach them. Or then we get players and we go, okay, you play this position, but no, we want you to play a different position. It's like, well, why sign them then in the first place?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, even somebody like Diomande, we probably haven't seen the best of Diomande, because he seems to get asked to play. He gets a position for a few weeks, then he's asked to play somewhere else. So It's frustrating. Hopefully, Derek McInnes is the man to change that. Still get full confidence in him, of course. Friday night wasn't the best result, wasn't the best performance, but as we've all said, very early doors, and we've got a chance on Thursday to get a good result in Europe and get us all feeling good again. And then we're back to Ibrox for the first home game of the season on Sunday, and I'm sure we'll all agree that 3 points is an absolute must, but should win that. Is there anything we want to cover before the end of the show, guys? It's our first show back. We have covered quite a lot. We have, of course, just a reminder, the website, www.gerstv.co.uk. Brand new website. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got all your latest news, all the latest articles, everything to do with Rangers. It also covers news from the ladies' team, and it also covers news from the Rangers youth set up as well. Please check it out. Use it regularly. You can watch the Gers TV through the website as well. Not everyone's got Facebook. Not everyone's got YouTube. So please check out the website, www.gerstv.co.uk. Remember, as Ryan's done this evening, we can schedule calls. If you want to be a regular contributor to the show, you can book your call through the website, or you can contact us at the Gers TV on our Facebook pages, and we'll get you on a Tuesday night via the technology that Simon's a buzzkid that behind the scenes there. So www.gerstv.co.uk. Please check that out. As I say, if you want to contribute to the show every Tuesday night, give us your thoughts on the previous games or the next games coming up. Book your call through our website. Colin, it's been a pleasure to have you here. What's your plans for the next few days? Are you in town for a few days?
I'm here till at least the end of the month, so
Poor you. Poor you.
I've tried to bring some nice weather. Some days it's work, some days it's no work. But that's it. I'm going to the Hibs game, and then I'm going to go to the match on the return in Europe as well. And a wee shout out to Broxy Bear. He must have done something right to wind up them at that last game to get mentioned in the SFA report.
Is Broxy Bear out on remand?
I was talking to him. He said no comment.
No comment. Is using that?
Allegedly.
No comment.
Ryan, anything else you want to add?
Well, I've seen Broxy as well. He's on a tag, so you might not see him in the European games. He's got to get him. Nothing else for me. I would probably say I would if I was picking the team for Thursday, I would encourage Derek McInnes to have a look at his shape for Thursday night. I would be looking at this whole try to go this 4-4-2 and try maybe actually have a look and actually look at the personnel and maybe think about going something a bit more narrow, maybe a 4-3-3 or something like that. Actually try and work with what he's got rather than try to put round pegs and square holes.
Very good point. Fantastic. Lewis, anything you want to finish up on?
No, nothing else really. I think we've covered everything that I've wanted to talk about. Obviously, a wee slight mention. We've got a few rumoured wingers supposedly joining the club. Of course, we've got the Japanese boy Yokota from Hanover. Seem to be pretty much all but done. We've got that boy. We've got apparently
a hangover.
I think there's a wee link with the boy from Frosinone as well. Gers TV.
He's good at pronouncing
this. Algerian boy. Listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid as I look.
So yeah, hopefully there'll be developments over the next few days. But I think first and foremost, McInnes and the rest of the squad have got to concentrate on Thursday night, and then after that, hopefully get a couple of players signed over the weekend in time for Hibs. But not great comments there, Lewis, and yeah, we look forward to welcoming new players to Ibrox. Colin, aka Bally Bear from Pollock Shield, Toronto, been great to have you. Hopefully see you on the show again.
Well, I might be here next Tuesday, lads. I'll bring the translator.
I'm not kidding. Simon, anything you want to add as the boss of the show before we go?
No, just finish with Ryan because he's still there, obviously.
Yep. Okay. And Ryan, do you want to sign us out then? And over to you. And thanks for watching, everyone.
Sorry, I was muted there, guys. Sorry. All the best, everyone. Just all the Bears that are travelling out to Poland on Thursday. Stay safe, look after each other, make sure you all go home safe, all right? And always remember, we are the people.
We are.
We are. No surrender.